The fastest way to get someone to do something that they don't want to do is have them create their very own reason for doing it. That's it. That's the spell. It's not about convincing people. Convincing is wrestling. You push, they push back harder. Persuasion, like this, is judo. You take their resistance and flip it into momentum. Imagine a kid staring at broccoli. They don't want it. If you say, eat the broccoli, it's good for you. The kid says, fuck you, maybe silently. But if you say, if you were to want to eat broccoli, why might you want to? Now their brain can't help itself. It has to imagine a reason. Maybe because it makes me strong like a superhero. And bam, the moment they say it, it's their truth, not yours. The brain is a lawyer, not a judge. It doesn't search for truth. It searches for evidence to defend whatever position it's already taken. When you ask, why might you want to? It forces their brain to build a case in your favour. That's cognitive dissonance 101. People hate saying one thing and believing another. If they say out loud, I don't want to do it because X, they start to feel like a hypocrite if they don't. And the ego hates being wrong more than it hates doing shit it didn't want to do. It's like cracking a rock and dropping a seed inside. You don't force the seed to grow. It's their soil, their water, their sunlight. You just gave them the crack, the entry point. They grow it themselves. Now here's where you get sly. You say, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you want to do it? Not 0 to 10, because 0 is dead soil. You can't plant there. Let's say they say 5. You don't say why not higher, because that invites excuses. You say why not lower? Why not a 3? This forces them to defend the 5. They dig in why it's important. And when people justify their commitment, it strengthens like concrete setting. Your friend says, yeah, maybe I should work out. If you were to want to work out, why might you want to? They say, I guess I'd want to look better, feel healthier. Nice, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you want that? They say, maybe it's 6. Interesting. Why not lower, like a 3? They say, well, because honestly, I'm already tired of being sluggish. And I know I'd feel better if I stuck to it. And boom, they just built their own motivational cage. The more they talk, the stronger the bars. Now comes the sweet spot. What's important about that? This makes them talk about their values. Maybe they say, because I want to be around longer for my kids. Guess what? You just anchored going to the gym to being a good parent. Try fighting that. Their brain won't let them. So why does this work? The neurology, talking about values, lights up reward pathways. The brain literally gives them a hit of dopamine when they talk about what matters. They feel good just by articulating it. Hypnosis, you're bypassing conscious resistance by asking questions instead of issuing commands. You slip past the guard dog. Karma, if you don't learn this, life keeps smacking you in the face. You'll keep trying to strong-arm people, and they'll keep ghosting you, pushing back, or calling you manipulative. So why don't people use this? Because they're scared. Scared of being rejected. Scared of being seen as manipulative. Scared that if they ask, the person won't play along. But here's the kicker. Not doing this is manipulation. Because then you're just trying to force someone with guilt, fear, or authority. This is the opposite. It's liberation. You're unlocking their own reasons. How do you already do this? When you ever said, well, what do you think? And someone convinced themselves. When you asked a kid, what's important to you? And they suddenly lit up with answers. When you've had a friend complain and you ask, so why not just quit? And they start listing why their job and relationship matters. And end up convincing themselves to stay. You're already a hypnotist. You just don't realise you've been sloppy with it. If you master this, you become the leader who never needs to yell, because people align themselves. The parent whose kids think they chose discipline. The friend who pulls someone out of depression by guiding them to rediscover their own why. The lover who never nags, because your partner talks themselves into being better. And if you don't, you'll keep butting heads. Keep forcing, keep draining your energy, wrestling with other people's resistance. You'll keep living in a tug of war instead of a dance. This isn't persuasion, this is evolution. It's the art of turning resistance into momentum. The way jiu-jitsu turns attacks into defense. The way rivers carve canyons not by force but by patience. The way your own immune system heals you by tricking viruses into triggering their own destruction. It's natural law. You're just finally aligning with it instead of fighting against it. So here's the bottom line. If you want someone to do something, stop shoving. Shoving creates pushback. Instead, hand them the pen and let them write the contract with themselves. Ask them why they might want it. Get them to rate it. And why not lower? Then drill into what's important about that. Do this sincerely, or don't bother. Because people smell manipulation, like a fart in an elevator. But when you do it clean, with respect, you stop being a nag. You stop being a salesman. You become a mirror that reflects someone's highest self back at them. So clearly, so brightly, they can't help but step into it. And that is how you stop fighting resistance and start alchemizing it into change.